Oh, did you see that? Oh. Make sure that you have the mix to a nice consistency so that they're going to stay together. You're going to dip your two hands, always dip your hand in there like that, and then make sure you find a nice hard surface at the bottom, and then you can just slide off extra like that if you want. And I'm going to see, can I go, ooh, can I get two side by side? Let's see. Now I know, oops, a mistake I've made in the past is I packed them in a little too tight, and then it's a little harder for the water to get in and around, so I don't want to make that mistake again. But let's just see, let's see. Oh, I think it's doable. I think it's doable. I can always make sure I'm watering properly. And you know what? When they do that other larger style of soil blocker, I can't remember what it's called, but they're packed in really tight like that. I think this is going to work. I will leave a little space here though. Or will I? Let's see how many I can get going down. Okay, this guy's being a little naughty. Okay, I'll be honest, I have absolutely no idea what kind of trays these are. I just saw them in the garage and I asked my husband if I could have them. But they are perfect size for the soil blocks. Oh, let's go this way. If I go up, oh, I don't know if I want to risk putting them too tight. We're going to do it though. We're going to try it just on this one. Oh. Oh no. Did you see that? Oh. Well, I had 260 soil blocks. All right, well, we're gonna redo that. That's sad. That's sad. That's really sad. Let's get that little stick out of here. I'm gonna get my yoga mat. Hold on. Okay, so two hands. Always use two hands. These are a little flimsy. I'll have to be really careful about that, and maybe use another tray under them when transporting them. But so before I had 280, and that was pushing it a little bit. They were a little tight, so I pulled off the last row on this one. I mean, not 280, 260. So I pulled off the last row on this one here. So hands are all dirty. So now I have 152 soil blocks on this one here. So I am using an indoor potting mix, and what I like about that is the fact that it doesn't have the larger sticks that you would get in a regular outdoor potting mix. So that's what's really good for the minis. It's not as big of a deal for their larger soil blocks, but if you're using the regular potting mix, like some Pro Mix or whatever for the minis, you will have to sift it to get those bits of sticks and bark out. Sticks and bark out. I can't talk. It's cold out. And now that we have our soil blocks made, it's time to start the seeds. Here's my assistant. Hi. So this tray, we are starting with petunias. It is finally time to start on a lot of the bedding flowers. So first up are the tickled pink climbing petunias, which are an amazing variety of petunia. They are very vigorous and they do have an upright grow, which is a growth habit, which is pretty cool. Then the rest of the tray, I put in, I think, pink petunias, purple, white, lobelia, and, well, I'll show you at the end when I have them all put in. And actually, they're already popping up. So they took about a week and they started sprouting. Okay, so here we are. It's about a week later. Come back in. There's nothing happening on the impatiens from my old seeds. So I'm just going to leave them, and we are going to go on and add some more impatiens. So I just picked these up at Canadian Tire, and these are the Tropical Fizz Hybrid. So we are going to try out some of those. We're going to do a couple rows of the Jasper Millet. I really liked this last year. It did really well. I saved these seeds myself. We run one row of pineapple sage, which I've never grown before. Got these in a seed swap from a while ago. So let's see. And next up, we're going to do 2 rows of nodding oats. Never grown this before. Apparently, it's a perennial here. So we shall see. This is a perennial ornamental grass, 2 feet high. Seed heads are green in spring and then turn tan in summer and purple in fall, which sounds absolutely beautiful. We have some Baptisia or false indigo. This is also a perennial shrub, part shade, which is awesome. So maybe I'll put some of this in the front. Soak seeds, sow indoors 8 to 10 weeks before last frost, or direct sow in fall on top of soil. Decorative seed pods. Okay, so I'm supposed to soak this. So you know what? Let's do that while we're waiting. Up, we have some purple balsam. I think I'm going to do 2 rows of that. It's an annual. And it says sun to part shade, 1 to 3 feet tall. So this will be nice in the front as well as the back. So we'll do 2 rows. This is from my good friend Nicole at Nicole Smith Gardening, and I cannot pronounce it. Abelmolchus sagittafolius. I believe it's in the mallow family as well, and it's like swamp mallow or something. I can't remember if it's swamp mallow or not. Let's see how many of these seeds I have left. I don't have too many. Oh, I don't have very many. I'll save that for this smaller soil, the smaller row. You know what? We'll do the gomphrena then. 2 kinds of gomphrena. These ones are called Las Vegas Mix from Stokes, and these are the Globosa Mix from Baker Creek. Here's my next tray, and oh, I don't have any tape on it yet, so let me go grab some tape and I will prep this and I'll be right back. So next up, we're going to start in with the Cosmos. So I have Blush Cupcake, Apricot Lemonade, Sensation, and Cosmos from a seed swap. So I'm probably going to do 2 rows of each, so that would be 10 of each. Or not. Nope, this one we only have 1. Never mind, we will not be. I would have sworn I had more of those. Oh well. Alright. Going in with the lemonade. And these are both from Hawthorne Farm Seeds, which are here in Ontario. So that's the lemonade, and then next up is going to be the Blush Cupcake. Alright. And then I think I'll finish this row with some bee balm. So this is spotted bee balm, also known as bergamot, so I can use that in my teas. That is the main flavoring in Earl Grey. And then next up, we're going to do the asters. Let's just switch around to the other side before we start our asters, though. Oh, bee balm. Let me write that down with the right pen. And now we're going to start with our aster apricot. Next up will be rose. Never grown these varieties before, so that's exciting. And next up, these These two next varieties are from the dollar store. So these come in packets, 3 for $1, which is a great price, can't beat it. And this is honestly, these are the only ones I've ever grown before. So I have grown these years ago. So the Baptisia. Ooh, we haven't done that yet. I think they've been soaking long enough, don't you? I think so. The habanero pepper mix, so it'll be interesting. Got these, it's a good price, $2.65 at Brampton grocery store. So I still have a few more cells in both of these trays that I want to fill, and I've decided to kind of go back through some of my other seeds that I've already started but just didn't have as good of a germination rate as I would have liked. So some more that I want to start would be more of the pink polka dot plant. I love those. I'm going to try again on the starflower scabiosa. They're not happy for me. Heliotrope and African daisies. So we're just going to see what fits on this tray here. It is all done. Yay. Started it again with some peppers. I have mystery peppers here. And then I put in red cherry and poblano, and I don't see anything on those yet. My poor little eggplants, they were doing so well. I was so proud of them, and so I took this out and I put them under the light, the grow light, and I forgot about them for a day, and yeah, they got a little fried. So there's still a couple healthy plants. I might drop some more seeds of those as well. The New Mexico 6 are coming out and doing really good, so I'm happy with it. Okay, so I gotta put stuff on here that doesn't need to be on the heat mat. So we're gonna go with some of these African daisies, which I forgot I had in there, and these should have been sown a long time ago because they actually are very cold hardy. Go in with some parsley. Right about this one, this is an amaranth variety that is supposed to be really pretty. It's called Amaranthus tricolor perfecta. And it likes cooler temperatures as well, and it needs light to germinate. So, and next up, I'm going to do some of this perpetual spinach. It's a biennial, and it is in the chard family, I believe. It's actually a chard, but it tastes like spinach. So, you guys are slacking on the job. You're not supposed to let me get away with that. Oh my goodness, those are weird. Those are so weird. Cells to go. So, I'm not sure what I'm going to put there yet, but I'll probably find a few things and just toss them in there when the moment strikes. Alright, so let's go, and I'm going to rearrange all this, and then I'm going to show you the stuff that's already sprouted from the last time I did the first round of the seeds. Okie dokie, we got everything rearranged, and I got all my stuff moved around. So, 2 of the trays are down here in this section in their little cozy homes. So these are 2 of the trays you just watched me put the seeds on. The other one is in here. So they're both on heat mats, and I don't have the light on, but they're getting ambient light. Hopefully that's enough. I mean, I could throw one of these lights on, but it's nice to save light a little bit. And then these are the trays that I had done before, and they are all doing really, really well. So on the end here, I had the Mahogany Splendor hibiscus, and it was just way too big for this spot, so I actually had to pop it up. Where did I put it? Oh, it's right here. See, they just got huge. They got huge. They did not fit anymore on that tray, so they got popped up to this tray. So they're not there anymore. Next to them, we have Jewels of Opar. Then we have Black Dragon Coleus. Coleus, these are seeds that I saved last year. There's 40 of those. And then Coleus, a rainbow mix that was from a bag. And it looks like I had faster germination than theirs. And then here we have the Burgundy Petunia. So quite a few of those. So most of those have popped up. And then down here I have my lime bicolor petunias. Lobelia. And I wanted a ton of lobelia, and I got nothing so far. So I don't know if it just takes a lot longer or what, but I'm kind of disappointed with that. Next up are my white petunias, pink petunias, purple petunias, and tickled pink petunias. So those are the ones I had all done last week, and I would say the petunias took about a week before they popped up through the surface, and I'm not seeing the lobelia, so I might have to drop a bunch more seeds because I need a lot of lobelia. Really enjoyed having that last year. So everything else, as you can see, is doing really well in here. I rearranged everything, got my grow lights going. These guys finally got more height. He was getting a little burn on the light. Oops. So I moved them up here. But yeah, that's where we're at today.